Okay, hello and welcome to Module 4, Lesson 27 of 8th grade math. Today we're actually going to start on page 171 with the problem set since we did the notes for the lesson earlier in a previous video. So today we're actually going to take solving one step further by substitution in that we're going to end up substituting a whole equation into another one. So for this lesson, I'm going to do a couple of examples, and then if you need further assistance, please come and see me at lunch or before school. Okay, so we're going to start on page 171. We're going to start with number 1. We want to solve this system algebraically because that's what it's asking us to do here. So what's going to happen is we have a y equals equation, and unlike the last one where it said y equals a number, we have an entire equation here that we want to substitute. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to look for which one says y equals, and that's this one, the top one. And we are going to then substitute the entire equation, 3/7x minus 8, into the y for the second one. So we're going to put it into this guy right here. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the second equation. 3x minus 7, and instead of y now, I'm going to write the equation from the top in parentheses. In parentheses, 3/7 x minus 8, end parenthesis, and then the rest of it equals 1. Okay. This from here now is something we had learned how to solve way earlier in the year. And it actually turns out to be a chart problem in the end. So what we want to do first, though, before we can have a chart, is we need to distribute. So we're going to start with our negative 7 times 3/7 x. It's going to be negative 3x if you put that in your calculator. Negative 7 times negative 8 equals positive 56. And then bring down the rest, 3x, and then the equals 1. And now you have no parentheses, and this is a classic chart problem where we're going to solve the equation. So x is on the left, number is on the right, and we're going to bring 3x down. It stays on the x side. Negative 3x stays on the x side. 56 is a number. It crosses the line, so we're going to make it negative 56. 1 stays in this side. If we add these up, 3x plus negative 3x is 0x equals negative 56 plus 1 is negative 55. And then we divide by 0 here, and guess what? That's going to give us an error. And if you remember back before, if we try to divide by 0, we get no solution actually for the first one here. So that means that these two lines are parallel. They will never actually cross. Okay, I know that was fast, so let's try another example here. Let's try example 2. Maybe we can get a little bit better understanding. Okay, example 2. 2x minus 5 equals y, and then negative 3x minus 1 equals 2y. So again, we're looking for the one that says either y equals or x equals to substitute. So the top equation is actually a y equals. So we're going to take this whole equation and we are going to replace the y in the second one. Okay, so let's rewrite the second equation. We get negative 3x minus 1 equals 2. That's all the same thing as the second equation has. And now it says y, but instead of y, we're going to replace that with parentheses 2x minus 5 instead from the equation above. Now, we have to rely on what we know about equations and what we have to do here. So the first thing we have to do is get rid of the parentheses. So we need to distribute. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Bring down the rest of the equation. And now you have a chart problem again. So let's go ahead and solve this. So this is x's, this is numbers. Negative 3x stays. Negative 1 becomes positive. 4x becomes negative 4x. Negative 10 stays. If we add these together, we get negative 7x equals negative 9. And we're going to divide by negative 7 to get rid of it. And guess what? We are going to get a fraction or a decimal, depending on how you like to look at it. And this is the whole point of solving these algebraically. If you do 9 divided by 7, you can round it, but you get about 1.29. So 9 over 7 is or 1.29. And this is why we don't always want to use a graph to solve this, because when we are looking for where they cross, estimating 1.29 is very difficult. Now, here is the problem. We are actually, our answer, remember, for all of these is going to be an ordered pair. Where do these two lines cross? Well, it crosses, our x is 1.29, but what's our y? And before we relied on the equation to tell us. Well, now it doesn't tell us outright what y is. So to get the y, you actually have to now substitute your answer, 1.29, back into the equation for x. So we're going to do 2 times, instead of x, now we know x is 1.29 or 9/7. 2 times 1.29 minus 5. And what do we get here? We get negative 2.42. All I did was I substituted the x with a 1.29. So negative 2.42 is my y coordinate, and there's my answer. Whew. I know, it is quite cumbersome. Okay, let's, for good measure, do one more example. Okay, let's do the last one. Number 3 on here. X equals 6y plus 7, x equals 10y plus 2. Okay, so we're looking for an x equal or a y equal, and we have 2 of them. Okay, we have x equals on both equations, so that means we can choose which one to use. I'm just going to use this top one, and I'm going to substitute it in for that x. So let's rewrite the second equation. Instead of x, I'm going to write 6y plus 7. And now I'm going to write the rest of the equation equals 10y plus 2. All right, there are no parentheses, so right away we can make a chart to solve this one. This is y, this is number. Okay, 6y goes with the y, 7 becomes negative 7, 10y becomes negative 10y because you jumped the line, 2 comes down. Add these up. 6y plus negative 10y is negative 4y equals negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. Let's divide. And we get y equals, and most of us like using the decimals, we're going to say 1.25. Okay, so in our answer now, remember this is an ordered pair, x comma y, the y value is 1.25. Now we have to find x. So we're going to go back to our original equation over here, and we're going to substitute 1.25 in for y. So in your calculators or in your head, we're going to say x equals 6 times 1.25, because that's our answer for y, plus 7. And if you type that in your calculator, you get 6 times 1.25 plus 7, 14.5. X equals 14.5. That is what you put into your ordered pair. Okay, the rest of the assignment is on the back side of the sheet on page 172. And for today, I'm ending up giving number 4, 5, 9, and 10 only. So you can cross out 6, 7, 8, and 11. So the assignment is to do 4, 5, 9, and 10, and then I will take that for a grade. Again, if you have questions, please see me at lunch or homework help or before school.